Hey everybody, you know who I am. Those who don't know who I am, my name is Nick Davis. I am an indie comic book creator. I write all ages stories about the Night Guardians. It's the Night Guardians here. These are a band of cuddly toys who basically protect us from the monsters under the bed. It's more like a dark fantasy sim in the vein of the Amulet or Sailor Wolf Walkers. It's actually a fairly fun story for all ages. But that's not what this video is about today. This video is about the state of the comic book industry. I have been seeing numerous posts about it on social media. Some of them actually a little bit upsetting, blaming the problem with comic books is the storytelling. It's not really the storytelling. Honestly, it's not. Storytelling has been no different than it has been for the last 100 years since Superman and Action Comics were born. You remember Action Comics #1? I'll give you a basic plot detail here. There's actually two Superman stories in that book. One Superman story is his origin. The second one is basically he basically saves a innocent woman from being executed by finding the murderers and basically putting her on the governor's lawn. Also, there's a side story where he helps Lois Lane getting a confession out of a senator by basically grabbing a senator and basically jumping over tall buildings with him. So yeah, Superman was the original, as what you call the social justice warrior. Is that what the kids are calling him nowadays? But again, think about it. That means for over 100 years, comic books have been what the internet's been calling woke for a very long time. So if you don't get that, then maybe you just turn into the villains that were actually in the book themselves. But enough of this. That's not what I'm talking about today. What I'm talking about today is the biggest problem with the comic book industry. What's killing comics? And some people are not thinking about this correctly. I mean, some people will say, hey, pay me more money and I will basically save the comic book industry. No. It's not about the stories. The stories are fine. The stories have always been really have been fine. There's been some stinkers. There've been some great ones. What it's coming down to is a very simple thing: visibility. If you can't find the product, you won't buy the product. If your town does not have a local comic book store, where do you get your comic books from? Think about this for a second. I want all those comic book fans out there to think about this for one moment. How did you gateway into comic books? I can tell you how I got there. I basically found them on the newsstand at my local newsagents. Now, I'm obviously from the UK, so newsagents is something you probably never heard of before. But basically, it's a newsstand, and I found the Beano on there for like 10 pence, and I started reading comic books via that. Now, here in the US, well, you had the spinner racks, and I believe pharmacies and that sort of thing, pharmacies, supermarkets, that sort of place, Walmart's, Kmart's, but they all went away, didn't they? So, that casual gateway for the casual comic book fan disappeared. So if you don't have an LCS, local comic book store, in your town, you can't get hold of comic books, right? But if you go down to these local stores, and I'm finding this everywhere, including down my local Dollar General, I'm finding manga. So think about this for 1 second. Manga's everywhere, comic books are not. So, it's a simple visibility, right? Can't find the product dies on the vine. Now, how do we fix this? There's no easy answer. The easiest answer is say, hey, we need to put comic books back on the spinning rack and we need to put spinning racks back in these stores. And that may be the case, but we also need to make these comic books accessible. They need to be one-shot adventures, less writing for trades, that sort of thing. That needs to be a thing. Now, they may come away with basically DC doing their new manga-sized books we're going to see in Target very soon. That might be a way, but remember this. It's never about the stories. Comic books have not got woke. They've always been woke. Sorry to break it to you guys, but it's kind of like the truth. Anyway, that's enough ranting from me. I will see you tomorrow for my daily dad joke. And I've got to get back to do some Night Guardian work and working on Let's Hunt Monsters. You can follow the progress on my various feeds. They're kind of fun. It's a good laugh. Anyway, you take care, and I will see you around. So, this is Nick Davis saying bye.